Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing good. Today in this video, we'll be discussing on the SAP S/4HANA simplifications on the production planning module. And the topics that we are going to cover today will be the production versions and the PI sheet. So let's get started. So we know that the production versions are basically used to group the bill of materials and the master recipe or the routing combinations. If you have several variations of the bill of material, like you have alternative 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on in the bill of material, and you have multiple group counters on a specific master recipe or a routing. So with these combinations of the alternative number and the group counter, we can basically create multiple permutations and combinations by using this particular production version. So these production versions are basically helpful in order to uh, specify a particular master data that will be based on a specific lot size for that particular batch we are going to manufacture. So let's say if we are manufacturing a batch of quantity of for 1,000 pieces. So to manufacture the 1,000 pieces batch, we need to use the bill of material alternative number 2 with the routing group number 3. And now to manufacture a batch size of 2,000 pieces, we need the alternative BOM number 5 and the routing group number 1. So by using the production versions, we can basically assign these various combinations of the BOM alternative and the routing group counters into the material master, and based on the order quantity, system is going to automatically select the production version into that particular planned order or the production order. Here we will discuss on the simplifications that has been made on the production versions in the SAP S/4HANA when compared with the classic uh, ECC system. So earlier in the R3 or the ECC systems, the production versions were not made mandatory. So there was an option, but it's not an obligatory function that it should be defined in the material master of the product. But whereas in SAP S/4HANA, this has been made mandatory for any in-house manufactured item, that the production version must be defined with the combination of the bill of material and the master recipe or routing. And it's not only for the in-house manufactured items, it is also made mandatory for the subcontracting materials as well, where we have to create a production version only for that particular BOM combination. So without a production version, system is not going to read the master data, I mean to say the bill of material or the routing that is available for the material. So in the ECC system, the production order or the process order were actually able to read the task list or the bill of material for the product it has to manufacture. But whereas in SAP S/4HANA, the production version is the only key that can basically derive the link between the material and its master data, like the BOM and the task list. So without a production version, you cannot actually fetch the master data, I mean the production master data for the material into the production or the process orders. So in ECC system, we have used several methods to create the production version by utilizing the BDC or any custom programs or even the C223 transaction to create a production version for the material. But in SAP S/4HANA, it has been more simplified by providing the reports such as the CS BOM provider migration. So this report is basically used only when you have a bill of material and there is no task list assigned to that particular material. And whereas if you have both the task list and the bill of material and you would like to create the production version for those combinations, you have to use the report CS BOM provider and migration 02. So these two are the programs provided in SAP S/4HANA. where while executing with the combination of the material or the MRP controller or a plant, so system is going to automatically read the bill of materials and the routings that were actually available for that particular material, and it automatically generates the production versions, and it is going to propose that these will be the production versions that are going to be created upon executing these reports or saving the output. So let's see that in next slides. So in this slide, we can see the screen of the C223 where there are two production versions created for the same material code. But here the difference what we can observe is the valid date and also the lot size of this particular batch. So in the first production version 001, we can see that it is only valid if the lot size is ranging between 1 to 999 units. But in case of the production version 2, this is only valid or will be triggered by the system if the lot size ranges between 10 to 11, right? So if you're actually creating a lot size less than the 10 quantity, so then the production version 2 is not going to be considered by the system. And if you're actually creating an order for the quantity more than 11, even in this case, the production version 002 is not picked by the system here, right? So it really helps us to specify a specific set of master data, like you can see here the alternative BOM number and also the group counter number based on the lot size quantities. And for some reasons, you also want to log the production version, though you have the same lot size or the batch quantity in the same validity period, and you would like to use only one version in that particular period, right? So in that case, we can use the functionality of locking and unlocking the production version. So once you mark it as locked, it means that this will be locked for any usage into the planned order or the production order. So though the order quantity lies between the minimum lot size and the max lot size, so system is not going to read this production version anymore until you remove the lock indicator on this version. So now coming to the assignment of the production versions into the material master. So this can be assigned in two views. One is the MRP4 view, where you can see an icon for the production version. So once you click on that, a pop-up screen appears where you can see all the production versions that were actually assigned on this particular product. And the second view is in the work scheduling. So there you see the similar icon for the production version. And when you click on this, the similar pop-up screen appears, which will actually show you the production versions that have been created against this material. So you can use either of these views to actually assign the production versions to the material. We will see in more detail about these production versions when we go into the SAP screen. So the next topic here is the PI sheet. So we know that the PI sheets are basically used to transfer the data from SAP into the third-party system and vice versa. So the data, I mean to say the planning data for the production order or the process order is being sent into the third-party system, or it can be a machine that has been configured in the plant so that all the activities will happen on the machine and the operator is going to update the actual values on that particular machine. So that data will be again transferred back to SAP by using the concept of the PI sheets. So it basically acts as a medium to exchange the data between the SAP ERP and the third-party systems. So by looking at this table, we can actually see the differences between the ECC and the SAP S/4HANA simplifications. In ECC, we had the ABAP-based PI sheets, which basically comprises of the characteristics that will be based on the requirement of the customer. So let's say they would like to use or pass the information related to the goods movement or the goods receipt or the confirmations and so on. Or it can be any safety instructions as well. So for all those activities or elements, the characteristics are basically used in order to send the data from SAP into the third party system. But whereas in SAP S4HANA, it has been simplified by using the browser based PI sheets where the configuration part has been more simplified and can be done by a functional consultant himself. And in ECC, the control recipe destinations are basically used with the type 1. And whereas in SAP S4HANA, we use the type 4 control recipe destinations. So these destinations are the ones to which the process messages will be sent in order to create the PI sheet. And like we discussed, the ECC system is based on the characteristic based process instructions. And whereas in SAP S4HANA, we use the execution steps, or also called as X steps, based process instructions to create the PI sheet. In ECC, the PI sheets were only configured or used only by the process orders. But whereas in SAP S4HANA, the Xstep or the browser based PI sheet can be utilized by both production orders and also the process orders. In this slide, we can see the repository for the Xsteps. So the transaction code for this is CMXSV. So in this transaction, we can basically download the complete repository from the SAP library. I mean to say there is a specific node that will actually provide the complete list of the X steps. So under these categories, as you can see, there are multiple folders and subfolders. So this particular folder, for example, like input and output of the data. So if you'd like to configure a PI sheet, that will actually take the parameters of the input and the output of the data that we actually provide from the process order. So we can utilize or drill down this particular folder, and there we can see multiple X steps which can be assigned into the master recipe. So in that way, there are multiple folders based on the business requirement or the scenario, and you need to properly choose the right X step to your, I mean, based on your requirement. So let's say if you would like to create a next step to perform the goods movement of the components, so then you can find that particular X step here under the folder PPPI process messages, and there we have the X step as goods issue posting. And similarly for the goods receipt, we have this particular X step. And the same way to confirm the activity or the phase, we have this particular X step like confirm phase activity. So all these X steps, once it has been activated and released, we can utilize these standard X steps into the master recipe of the product, and there we can actually customize the look and feel of the PI sheet based on the customer requirement. So we will see that in more detail when we log into SAP. This is an example of the browser-based PI sheet which has been configured based on the X step as we discussed here to confirm the phase activity. So by using this X step, this is the format or the output that we will see in the PI sheet for the confirmation. So here we have the option to change the description of this text. So let's say the customer wants to have it as a phase confirmation. So then you can make it as phase confirmation, or if they just want it to be as confirmation. So everything is modifiable here. And the text, as you see here, like enter the actual values on every activity and confirm whether the activity is completed or not. So all these are editable, right? So you can write your own text here, and you can actually select the fields that you would like to see here. It's a very pretty much easy task for a functional consultant to design the PI sheet. So first let's look at the production versions. So for that I'm going to use SE38 to execute those programs. So the first program, let me show you that here. It is the worm provider migration, and execute. So here we can see that the production version migration is only for the materials that has only a bill of material but no task list. So here we have two options basically to provide a set of materials or a plant, and you can actually execute the simulation in or the actual mode of this particular program. So let me go back to the second program, which has the 02 in the suffix. Execute. So this is the migration report where you can actually create the production versions. So for example, I'm going to provide the plant here, 1810, and down below you have the options to select the task list type. So are you actually creating the uh, production version for the master recipe or the routing? So since I have the master recipe, I'm going to remove these two task list types and I'm going to assign the task list type as 2 for the master recipe. And the migration criteria, you have 4 options where you can actually choose the right option while executing the report. So if you would like to create the production version only with the routing, so then you need to activate this. And if you would like to create the production version where there is not even a single production version created for the product, right? And the third option is basically to create the production versions for only the bombs that have been allocated to the routings in the component assignment, right? And the fourth option is basically based on the production orders that were actually created even before the production versions are generated for the material. Going down a bit. So here we have the PV or the production version creation mode where you can actually use either of these radio options, either to adapt the existing production version or only to create a new production version. So if we choose the adapt only existing production version, it means that only the ones which are actually created in the system, so those will be modified again once we execute the report. But if I choose the second option to create only new production versions, so then it is going to create a new production version for the materials which does not have a production version created yet. And next we have the production version prefix. So if you'd like to assign a specific prefix for the 4-character production version, so here is the option you can use. So let's say I would like to create the prefix as IK, right? So this will be my prefix for the production versions, and let me run it in the simulation mode. So I'm going to use the radio button as adapt the existing production version so that the existing versions will be modified with the new prefix code. And execute. And by the way, we do have several options to choose the MRP type of the product, to choose the MRP controller, and if you have any specific material group, so that also can be assigned. And I think you will be uh, aware of these options. So let's execute the report. So now here, these are the materials or the semi-finished or the finished. So these production versions are basically created now with the prefix as IK, and based on the number of combinations of the BOM and the routing. So uh, those many production versions will be created for each of these materials. So let me choose a different plant. Okay, I'll use 1820, and I have not changed any of those options below. Execute. And now here we can see that this particular material FG29, it has actually uh, 4 production versions, right? So these 4 production versions are already existing, but those have been replaced with the new production version with the prefix code what I have mentioned as IK. So IK 01, 02, 03, 04. So all these are automatically created by the system based on the alternative BOM combinations and the routing combinations or the master recipe combinations. We have them here. So since we are in the simulation mode, we do not see any option to approve or save the production version. But once I remove the simulation mode and execute this in the active mode, execute. So I move it to the right side. So here we can see the option to approve the production version, right? So these production versions are basically proposed by the system, but if you would like to create it and get it assigned to the a material codes here, we have to approve it by clicking on these icons. So if it is only one or two materials, then we can use these options. But if there are, I mean, if you are doing a mass creation of the production version, then you can simply select all and click on approve selected. So once we click on this, all the versions will get updated into the material master. So that's how the creation and the execution of the production versions are made simplified in the SAP S/4HANA. And please do not forget that once you create the production version, you also need to do the consistency check for these versions in C223 transaction. So that has not changed yet, right? Now let's go into the PI sheets. So as I said, I'm going to show you the library first, and that's in the transaction code CMXSV. So this is the standard repository that has been downloaded from the OSS notes, and you can create multiple folders if you would like to customize these PI sheets. So I've actually created one for the goods issue. So this folder is basically the one that has been downloaded, and it has all the prerequisite or the predefined the predefined programs or the predefined X steps for each of these categories. So let's say in the PPPI process messages, we can see the X step for the batch creation, and then we have the order confirmation. So this is at the order level, but not at the phase or the activity level. And then we have the goods issue, goods receipt, and if you like to provide an option for the user to make some comments on the operation, so if we can use this X step. And similarly, to confirm the phase, we can use this in the master recipe. And if you like to create a kind of a checklist, so we can utilize the folder, the tables and checklist, where you have the predefined checklist provided by SAP. So you have the sample checklist here. And if you select this particular node and then right click, you can actually see that where, in what all master recipes is this particular sample checklist being assigned to, right? And now we need to make sure that this particular version under this sample checklist has been released and it is in the validity period. And now to make it as released, you just need to double click on this version. So then this particular screen opens up. Okay, I think I'm on the display mode. I'll go to the change mode here. Okay, it has been released, so it's not allowing me to change. Yeah. So now let me simulate this, the checklist. And this is how it appears. So this particular PI sheet is only for this checklist that we have simulated now. So here we have the options of uh, the three characteristics like the motor check, tank check, weight scale check, so on, and whether the status is yes or no. It's a kind of a drop down option that you can provide to the user. And it's not that you should always use these three descriptions, but you can uh, modify your own requirements. Based on your own requirement, you can modify the text. And if you would like to add few more items, that is also possible, but that should be done in the master recipe, and we should not disturb any settings in the library. Why? Because it should be as a master data or a repository where the standard settings are always saved. Let me go into the master recipe of the material and show you how we can configure the X steps on the product. So now I'm in the change mode of the master recipe. So I'm going to enter the material and the plant code, then hit on enter. So it's going to show me the available group counters or the groups that have been created for this material code. I'm going to choose the first one. So once you're into this master recipe screen, you see this icon for the X steps, right? So once you click on this, it will take us to the place where you can actually configure the X steps on this particular master recipe. So here we have four X steps that have been configured, and these are basically for the inspection results, the goods receipt, the confirmation of the face, and then the goods issue. And if you like to open this, you can just use the drop down functionalities here. And then from here, we can actually edit the text, as you can see here. So these are the ones that will be coming up. So here in the master recipe, if you would like to create a new X step or any new an X step reference, so you just need to select the X step tree and then right click. There you have the option to create the X step or the SXX reference. So if you click on the X step, that will create a new step here through which you can actually create a reference. So from here, I'm going to create an X step reference. So this X step reference is going to be my standard or the predefined library formats here. So I'm going to assign the tables or the checklist, or it can be, say for example, I'm going to assign the checklist as a sample checklist here, right? So I'm going to map this particular sample checklist into my new reference. I just need to double click on that. So now it has been assigned. Close it. Now right click on this X step and then click on explode. So without the explosion being done, you cannot actually enter or modify the values under this particular X step. So now here, since we have these three predefined values, I would like to add a new one, right? So let's see how to do that. So click on the checklist here, which is the header node of this particular item list, and then create. Again, I'm going to use it as an SXX reference. And now I'm going to double click this. And if you like to assign any of these existing forms from the library, so you can again navigate to those screens. If not, you can actually right click, do a consistency check. So now you can see here there are few errors on this particular reference. So with these errors in place, you cannot actually simulate a PI sheet, or you can generate a process message against this particular master recipe. So we need to make sure that the complete X step reference is made consistent with all the predefined values here, right? So now I'm going to right click here. Sorry, let me close this first. I'm going to delete this. So to delete, it's very simple. Select it, right click, and then click on delete, right? And if you do this drop down, you can see that nothing is actually being exploded. The reason is that we have not yet exploded this particular X step, right? Or the reference. So in order to explode it, I have to right click on it and click on explode option. So only then I can see the details under this motor checked X step. So this basically provides the description of the motor checked, and then we have the title where you can actually assign the color and the type of this particular format. And since we have seen the status as OK and not OK, so this is where it comes from the drop down of the parameter, right? So that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also click on the bell icon to receive updates. We'll meet again soon in our next video. Until then, take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye bye.